I'm not really one to toot my own horn, but when you've been proven right so immediately after you make a big prediction, you gotta take a victory lap. So, last week I mentioned that I was predicting that every single level 3 zombie or psychic tuner monster that was a hand trap would be coming to Duel Links based on the last couple of boxes that we got. And now there's an update today where it looks like they are adding Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs and Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit to the card files, potentially to give them to NPCs. So let's talk about it. For those of you that don't know, Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring is a level 3 fire zombie effect tuner. When a card or effect is activated that includes any of these effects, as a quick effect you can discard this card to negate the activation. Add a card from the deck to the hand, special summon from the deck, or send a card from the deck to the graveyard. You can only use this effect of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring once per turn. So, what cards are affected by this? Well, the most obvious one that comes to mind is Armageddon Knight, which allows you to immediately mill cards in Orcust. You could also hit a card like any of the Phantom Knights cards. How about Torn Scales? Torn Scales sends a card from the deck to the graveyard. You could also hit the Phantom Knights of Ancient Cloak, which draws a card from your deck. You could hit the Tribute Lanius for Raid Raptors, which mills a card from the deck. There are a lot of really good cards. You could hit Fire Formation Tanky in Lunalights. You could hit Successor Soul in Blue Eyes, because that special summons from the deck. And not only does Successor Soul stop the special summon, it stops the send to the graveyard effect. Your opponent will still tribute their monster, but your monster will not go to the graveyard because the entire card is being negated. So the tribute is for cost. That's why it still happens. But if you Ash Successor Soul, then your monster stays on the field, and your opponent doesn't get to special summon. They just go minus. They lose a card from their hand because they played Successor Soul, and they lose a card from the field because they tributed a monster. So yeah, Ash Blossom is a really, really strong effect. This card, if it comes to Duel Links, needs to be played at 3 in a lot of decks, depending on how many copies we get. Then we have Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. This monster is a psychic monster. It is light. It's still a tuner, though. When a monster on the field activates its effect, or when a spell or trap that is already face up on the field activates its effect, as a quick effect you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard to destroy that card on the field. You can only use this effect once per turn. Okay, so this card does not negate cards, but it allows you to destroy a card when it activates its effect, which is really, really nice. Only on the field, but still. Let's say that you activate Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit's effect, and you get to destroy, say, a Mekk Knight Purple Nightfall. Mekk Knight Purple Nightfall targets itself to banish itself from the field so that you can search. You discard Snow Rabbit, and it destroys the Purple Nightfall. Purple Nightfall can no longer banish itself, so the effect does not resolve. Another example would be field spells. So let's say that your opponent activates a field spell like, for example, World Legacy Scars is the only one I can think of off the top of my head. A field spell that has an effect where you have to activate it, so like World Legacy Scars, where you can discard a Mekk Knight to draw a card. You would be able to discard Ghost Ogre and then destroy that card, and because a continuous spell, an effect, an equip spell, or a field spell has to be on the field at resolution to actually resolve its effect, that is a negate. Same thing if your opponent has a continuous spell that they activate, like Awakening of the Possessed. That's a better example. Let's say your opponent's playing Charmers, and they normal summon a monster, and Awakening of the Possessed activates when it's already on the field. Now you can activate Ghost Ogre, destroy the card, your opponent does not get to draw a card. There you go. So yeah, these cards are both really, really strong. I would say that Ghost Ogre is more like of a meta-dependent card. You might play it at 1 or 0, depending on how frequently cards are being used on the field. You know, it's nice to pop a monster every now and then, but is that really something that you're going to want to do every game? Not necessarily. But Ash Blossom, 3 of, easy. Alright, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. My name is Serafi, and I'm thrilled to have all of you with me.